Welcome back to an episode of Unranked Podcast. Come with y'all. It's a couple days before All-Star Weekend. The Pistons have played 3 games since the last time we chatted with y'all. Um, and yeah, so far they're 2-0 right now, up five against the Chicago Bulls. First 2 games they won was against the Hornets on Super Bowl Sunday. Pretty much up like 25, 30 points that entire game. Let it get within like 3 to 5 for a hot little second, like in the fourth, but they was able to still win by like 10 to 15. Um, Bulls game, I mean, they played the Bulls yesterday, Tuesday, and they went on like a 21-0 run in the second quarter while they're up 20, ended up handling them by about 40 points, and now they're Bulls are obviously hanging around, got a little pride. Down five, halfway through with a little bit left in the second. But yeah, just want to, give a little synopsis of where they've been over these last few games. I want to kick it over to you, E, and just see your thoughts on, how they've looked. Taking advantage, I would say, of a pretty favorable part of the schedule before All-Star weekend.
Yeah, no, I would say that's we kind of talked about this and chatted about it before we hopped on, but just the maturation of a young developing team.
Mhm.
Just the start of the year, we never knew what we were going to expect. We all knew that the team could potentially do something like this. But we were all very skeptical at the beginning, and then it just kept chugging along, winning games. Um, and now we're in, like you said, kind of the part of the schedule where you finish strong. They had a tremendous early start to January, at like 8-2 or 10-2 at some point there in that window. Then things kind of cooled off a little bit. Then they recaught fire, beat the absolute dog shit out of the Bulls yesterday. I think that's kind of what you're looking for now is where a team, what do they look like when they're playing their best? And how does that look? And I think we are very formidable. We played lockdown defense. We're very physical. A hard guard for other teams as far as the combinations and players we can have out there, the shooting that we have, along with Cade being the maestro. I just think that is deadly combination. And then you got Isaiah Stewart, Duran, two big dogs going to work. I think all putting all that together, we're very formidable heading into this All-Star break.
Yeah.
Covering, knock on wood for us that we win this one. But even if we do lose this one, we going into All-Star break over 500, uh,
Hmm.
with 28 games to go after that. So, you can go about 500 again and finish the season in the mid 40 or low 40s for wins.
Yeah.
I think those are all things that are very promising signs. And I'm not, we can, you can kind of give your banter, but then we could also think it's unique, just speak a little bit on just kind of the tiers of the teams. You look down to who we're manhandling, who we kind of win every now and against, and then who kind of boxes out and we can't seem to crack their code for certain teams. So
Yeah.
but overall, you know, six in the East heading into the All-Star break, not much you can ask for.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I keep thinking about like, what was our expectation? Like 30 wins the entire season. We sitting
Yep.
on 28 right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I think like you can start to look and just think, a little while ago, it was kind of peeking at like some other records of like what teams you looking like when they're like in that play-in spot. They usually around like, 38 to 42 wins. So it's like, I feel like, man, if they can get, you know, 43, 45, like really find a way to, you know, you said what, 28 games left for the rest of the season? So if they can go
Yes.
like, yeah, I mean, if they can, just finish like 4 or 5 games over 500, I think that solidifies like a top six spot to where you
Right.
getting, you don't have to go into the play-in or play anybody twice or anything like that. So man, if they can really, like you said, like these are the games that they got to get. They got to right now they got the lead back, so they need to just be able to hang on and and stack these, continue to stack these wins and start to just beat up on them team, catch some of them teams slipping that they've been catching. Like they got to try to find a way to beat the Bucks. They got the Celtics coming up again. Most like, I haven't seen the schedule fully, but they just got to try to find a way to hover right around that 500, and I think they'll be sitting pretty to jump in the playoffs.
Right. I
Yeah.
think, you look at top down. Cleveland, very legit. Made a big time move at the end of the trade deadline, getting Hunter. Already sitting there at like 40 wins. And then you got the Celtics, obviously coming off the championship, most expensive roster in the NBA.
Yeah.
You've been there in the mix for the last 4 or 5 years. Then you kind of go to the Bucks, very cold and kind of turn it on. We know what they
Yep.
got. We know what they got in Giannis and Dame Lillard. And then I kind of think personally we're right in that next mix right there. Where we beat the Knicks a handful of times. We beat them on their court, and they just don't scare me as much as the other teams. I think we're right. Truth be told, probably right under them. I think we're about that fourth, fifth seed. Orlando doesn't scare me that much. The Pacers don't scare me that much. I think, we like you said, we hover, maybe go on another little run post All-Star. Cade's running that high as far as being an All-Star game. Um, and then you kind of
Man.
if you can hover, next 28 games, and if you can go like 14, not 14, if you can go 18 and 10, you know, something like that, I think that'd be, probably enough to bump you up a slot or two. Uh,
Yeah.
and then I think we can take anybody, into the deep end of the water, as they say, as far as you don't want to play us, you want to come to Detroit, play in LCA.
Mm-hmm.
Cade's fiery. Obviously, we got a lot of shooting power, and then outside of that, the X factor, Jay Ivey. Jay Ivey. I've been hearing that he could work his way back in, especially if we were hovering around making the playoffs and
Yeah.
playing meaningful basketball. I think that's just another dynamite that we could throw on this whole equation near the end of the season. So I really think we can, like you said, stack the dubs versus teams we're supposed to, kind of crack the code versus a couple of the teams above us, and we can we can make some strides the standings.
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah, no, I pulled the schedule up. I was kind of curious what's going to look like after the All-Star break. So we go to San Antonio, to Atlanta, play the Clippers. Then we go, they're going to be at home for 4 games. We got the Clippers, the Celtics, the Nuggets, and the Nets. So that's what. And you go to Utah, then to the Clippers. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I don't know, just look at like the 8 game snapshot there. And it's like they can just kind of, you just look at like break the game, break the teams they playing up in just like 8 to 10 games. Like let's just hover around 500, let's go either 4-4 or like 5-3, or like
Mm-hmm.
or 6-2, like for this little stretch, just kind of like find a way to just the Boston. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that Boston game gonna be tough. I mean, I think we can get Denver. We should be able to get Brooklyn.
Yeah.
San Antonio, that's a toss up. Atlanta, we play them tough. So it's been a matter of just kind of, there's just a couple stretches here and there where they just got some solid teams coming up, kind of like one after the other, and just kind of finding a way to just, yeah, stay afloat and don't, you can't, 4 or 5 losses in a row as you try to like avoid those types of stretches.
Right. And I agree. And I think I think that's entirely possible. Like you said, go 6-2 there in that stretch.
Mhm.
Maybe lose a game you had no business losing. That's trying to beat the Celtics or something, kind of combination like that, I think would be very possible. And then, I kind of think one thing we both spoke on as far as what the team needed. Sorry. That was just kind of a stabilization from the backup point guard spot. And then we went out and got Dennis Schroder. Um,
Yeah.
like you said, 10, 12-year vet. Early on this season, he was averaging 18 and 6. So I think that kind of bounced out to
Yeah.
14 and 5, 14 and 4. Perfectly, I think he's perfectly cool with playing this role, especially on a winning team. So
Hmm.
he can kind of come in them second unit, play some tough defense, and keep that ball kind of rotating to Hardaway, Fontecchio, whoever
Yeah.
that may be, kind of
It's
just
a big
being
addition.
that all. And then play relief minutes when you want to play him and Cade together, where Cade can kind of play off ball a little bit and just give their defense another look from that point of view, where they can do all the things they're doing to stop Cade because he's not the primary ball handler. I think that'd be we're going to see dividends on signing him throughout the next couple of weeks, next couple of months, and I think he'll be playing very meaningful basketball for us, come around playoff time.
No, for sure. Yeah, so what I like too is like kind of already out there is like directing traffic. Like, I mean, I'm talking first game. Like I think it was against the Hornets when he literally walked in there and was just kind of like telling guys, where to go. And that's just what, Cade was off the ball a little bit. He's
Yeah,
able to just, just take that pressure off where he's not just constantly like bringing the ball up the court,
yeah,
just, always got it in his hands, making all the decisions all the time. He can just kind of be a scorer. Cause that's where I think like, I don't know, I just feel like his scoring average is going to start to like climb up a little bit. It has the potential to climb up a little bit more because putting him off the ball and just finding ways to get him in different matchups and mismatches. Like you can't guard him one on one. If you got it to where he's like able to get in different spots on the floor and not running into double teams or just always
yeah.
bringing it up the paint, like up the always bringing it up. Like I just think he's gonna be able to do a lot more.
I think it's a great
Really,
point because we don't know exactly what he is. I do
yeah.
think he's definitely proving he can. I mean, he's an all-star point guard.
He's a
But
point guard. Yeah,
is he an all pro two? Is he an all pro three? I mean, who
yeah,
knows? Who knows kind of how that will settle, especially if you have another guy that can take that ball out of his hands and know what to do with it. Kind of run everything
yeah,
else, and he can pick his spots, be much more lethal from that point of view. Kind of save his energy where you're not, like you said, that usage rate's going to go down, but the points could go up, which is kind of a unique situation where he's just picking his spots. I do want him to be the point guard more than he's not. But if it's 80% now, if it's 80% now, maybe it goes down to 70%, and then those 10%, he's just a lethal killer. You're finding ways to get him on cuts, backdoor screens. Kind of just give another look for the team. Heading into this stretch, and I think that's kind of what those type of things what we can do to separate ourselves. Um, but bro, it's exciting just to be in this mix.
yeah, for sure.
Team is, Malik Beasley just had the record for most threes in the season with 28 games to go. Last year we talked about it. Signing Beasley, Hardaway, and Tobias Harris was like 50% of every three we made last year. And you see the difference in that so far. We've hit 705 threes of 1959, 36%. Um, and I forget the exact number, but I'm pretty sure we hit like 909 last year. So we're gonna kill that probably before you know,
For sure.
we're gonna kill that, you know, arguably, I don't know, probably 10 games from now. You
Hmm.
know. So I think that's very telling in itself. And that's kind of where basketball is headed. And I think we also do a good job of being gritty. It's just, coming to lay that wood sometimes. It's just, you know, um,
It
you know,
was squabbling a little bit earlier today.
yeah,
It was just,
exactly. I mean, I think that's kind of how it is, and I think we've always been built that way when we're successful. Is we
hmm
kind of have that edge to us, and I think this team is coming into their own as far as that goes. Even just having a 6'8" point guard that just gets to the rack, pushes people out the way, be hooking people on the way to he's coming into his own offensive game, and I think that just you know in
It
itself
just it's
is
so crazy to
scoreless.
me, like just watching how easy it is though. Like, I mean, he'll literally come down, put somebody on his hip,
Yep,
3 or 4 dribbles, kind of get to a spot in the paint and just like go up over top of like the fade away, step back,
he's very polished.
like, and it's smooth. Like it's, I mean, yeah, I mean, a lot of the records that he kind of break in, the kind of company he in, is just all like in them like do it all, like LeBron, Luca. I think you sent me something that had like Oscar
Yeah,
Robinson
yeah.
might have
The
been
names he's getting
tied in.
mentioned is crazy.
Like I just yeah, like this versatility. So yeah, I'm just excited just having a second ball handler and even Ivy. When he come back, having him and Schroder playing together because yeah, I mean you're gonna have guys where they can just we get into the playoffs. Go and get tough. You ain't got to think. Like these guys, they don't need to be, first time in the playoffs, like have Schroeder kind of running the show and let these guys like kind of helping each other, helping them out, in
Mm.
those aspects. I mean, I'm kind of putting the cart before the horse, but well, no, I'm not. We going to the playoffs. It's just a matter of, who we matching up with. Um, yeah, but like you said, this is good to be able to watch meaningful basketball. It's mid-February. Hopefully we can find a way to get on ESPN, a couple times in the next few
Yeah.
months. That'd be pretty
They
cool.
definitely got to pay us forward a little bit, but I don't know
Yeah.
how flexible
That's
they. I mean, I feel like the NBA would be smart to start moving some of these games around. Let us get on.
yeah.
We're fun to watch. We really are. And
I
I'm
mean,
not
we kind of forgot about that game. That was another game where they were blowing them out. The Pistons were blowing them out on
That's true
Friday
without
night.
Cade. Yeah,
Yeah, on national television. Like that was
yeah,
like a sneaky, like, yeah. I
that's true.
mean,
Yeah, we didn't mention that one. No, I mean, we
man,
that just shows how how fortunate we are though, because we were
yeah.
about every win we got last year. So I just think um the in general the squad is built very well. I see what they're trying to do, and I think Cade can seriously get us to the second round of the playoffs this year. I think we kind of I'm not trying to put too much pressure on them or the cart before the horse, like you said, but I think we also have to look at what this team is, and I think they're very formidable. People don't want to play us. Uh,
Hmm.
any given night, we can shoot anybody out of the gym. We can play lockup defense. I think people like Asar Thompson, Ron Holland. We just got real feisty players, and don't let them guys get going. As long with Malik Beasley and Cade hitting threes, and I think we can really jump on some teams and get after them. So I'm excited. I just think um, you know, I mean, moving forward, the sky really is the limit for this team. It's just
Yeah. And I
um,
mean, people sitting back now, like watching Cade, like, we even, and this is great. We ain't had to talk about cap space yet. We're not talking about no mock drafts because we might. I mean, if we keep playing as well, we might not have no first overall pick
right.
or first round pick. Which not, I'm not going. I mean, it sucks, but I'm not tripping. Like we going, we going. So I think we just in a good spot. We still kind of in like that little like not even we kind of like moving a little good little rebuild mode, just at a good little steady pace. So you never know what we can start to attract come that time of year. Yeah, no, I love the core. You got a lot of these guys. I mean, Ron Holland looking like, I mean, and you got, and I think one thing too, he's got to shout out JB.
Yes.
Like, it is just so. This is a night and day difference on the like. I mean, he got ejected a couple times this year. I think. No, he did. I know he did once for
Yep.
sure. He'd be at the press conferences. And I just really like
He let you know.
letting the referees have it. Fighting for his team. And I mean, because we was watching Cade, like Cade be getting 35 off of like three free throws, and we just be
Yeah.
like it don't make no sense. Like it was a lot like that last year, but he's still been getting as many calls I think he deserves, but like
Yeah.
he's still
The other day he did have like 13 free throws in the game, and I was like, I was shocking to see that in the box score.
yeah. I think the
Because
game
the
he
night
went to,
38. But
Mavs game he only had like four free throws. He had 40. He had 40 off
yeah,
like five
40.
free throws.
No, and I think all-star appearances, those type of things will come. And I think that, that's just they're gonna make him pay his dues. They've hated him. You've seen everybody from his own class, they've been putting over him. Um, and I think he's putting all that on his back. I mean, I don't want to jump out the window, but he anywhere near this trajectory, I mean, he's gonna be the best Piston I've watched, you know. I didn't obviously get to watch Isaiah. Um, but I think anywhere near this trajectory, he
Yeah,
win some games, win some playoffs, championship, and get it done. But I think pure talent, he, I mean, we haven't had nobody like this since I've been a fan.
no, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, by far, yeah, like the best first round pick probably since Grant Hill.
yeah, yeah. I think that's safe to
So
say because we won't be doing shit in the draft.
yeah, yeah, I mean that, yeah. I mean, yeah, I mean, we ain't got to talk about one of them. We ain't got to talk about it. We,
What's
yeah,
understood
like
gotta be said.
our best team. Everybody got traded in except for like Tayshawn and Ben Wallace was he undrafted, right?
He didn't play with us first. He played with the Bullets first.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, he jumped around. I think he did bounce. I don't know, if he bounced around, but I know. Yeah, I remember he did play with them for a little bit.
yeah. All them
Yeah,
people we yeah. Lindsey Hunter, I guess we drafted. No, yeah, we don't.
name Rodney Stuckey.
Yeah. The poor
he
man's
wasn't
team.
that great.
Poor
Not a
man.
baby was calling him out in a song. He was.
What he
This
say?
is
He's like, you ain't shit, Killian Hayes. You ain't shit.
yeah, right. No, like you said, man, it's a good time. I mean, I gotta find a way to get to one of these games. Um,
Yeah, no, it's a good
I
time.
gotta try to find a way to get one in. But
We
yeah,
have to
I
we have to
think
make that happen. See what happens in the playoffs and try to make that happen. But
definitely.
yeah, no, I'm excited. Cade in the All-Star game. 3-point contest, I think he made it.
Yeah, yep.
Yep. And so I think he's gonna be on the forefront. He's gonna that type of stuff right there alone get you a little star power. I think it's well deserved, and that's only gonna
Mhm.
help get the calls, help get some more points, help win some more games. Um, but no, bro, I'm excited for it, and
Oh
you look.
yeah. No, that's all I got. We'll be back with y'all next week. Yeah, I mean next week was probably gonna be most likely should be a little Michigan basketball talk, so Pistons won't play again until the 21st. We could probably talk a little bit about the All-Star game though. Probably throw a little bit of that in there.
Yeah,
But yeah, we are gonna get back with talk about Michigan. They're now first in the Big Ten, huge
huge
top 10
first.
victory
Yep.
against Purdue last night. Um, we got some good matchups to finish out the rest of the regular season, and it Dustin May got them rolling. So we'll chat a little bit about them and Cade's All-Star appearance next time. Be with y'all later.
Yes, sir.